this transformative topic that really holds, immense potential for women entrepreneurs like yourselves. As we've all seen, AI is now the way of doing things, and it's not just changing the way we do business, but it's actually reshaping entire industries. As women entrepreneurs, we know it's very important for you to stay ahead of the curve, and AI presents that opportunity for you to do so, to innovate, to scale, and to just lead in ways that you never thought you would. So it's really a game changer. So today's topic that Damal is going to delve into is really about exploring how AI can empower you to revolutionize your markets, redefine your sales strategies, and enhance your competitive edge. It's about leveraging technology to amplify, let's say, creativity or your vision that you're ready to bring into your business. So thank you for being here and for your commitment. As always, we ask that if you have any questions, please do put them in the chat. Last week's session was very exciting and very engaging. So I think instead of waiting to the end, I'm sure most of you read the materials that we shared last week. Do use this opportunity as we are discussing and engaging to put in your comments. If there's anything you want to clarify on, if there are any questions you have, please put them in. We really love it when you engage. It makes us excited that, it's a very interactive session. We are hearing from you, and it also helps us as we undertake this training. So please do put in your comments and clarifications in the chat. At this juncture, I'm going to invite the founder and CEO, Damali Sali, to give us a highlight of the results from last week's quiz. And then from there, she'll dive into the training of week 6, which is revolutionizing markets and sales with AI. So over to you, Damali.
Okay, my apologies. I hadn't unmuted myself. Sandra, you can hear me, I hope.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Excellent. So, ladies, thank you so much. Yes, in fact, when Sandra just said it, I mean, week 6, we just have one week left to go. After this one, it's just 1 week left to go. So, congratulations to all of you who are here. You're very welcome, and I'm glad that you've stayed with us this entire time. So, going through what we did last week, can someone, I'm going to screen it. Sandra, tell me that you can see it.
Yes, it's on the screen.
Excellent. So one of you, please, or not one of you, any of you should help me, because I was unable to to calculate the average score. I just realized that I didn't get the average score for this week. This week we had 9 questions. So as I'm going through, I want to see your average performance. So one of you, please add up the numbers and then give me the average at the end. You just put it in the chat. But I wanted to tell you I was very happy with the results this week because you did fantastically compared to last week. And you're going to see exactly why I'm saying this. So 115 of you did submit or answer the quiz, and we're really grateful for that, because it's only those that answer the entirety of the quizzes that will be able to get a certificate, although you still can get the knowledge, which is great. So the first question was around what was the primary, and remember for the module last week, we were looking at customer engagement using chatbots. So the first question was around what is the primary benefit of using chatbots for customer engagement. I was happy to note that 81% of you gave the correct answer, where you showed that you clearly understand what the issue was about, and I think you guys read a lot of the material. And the main reason for using chatbots for customer engagement is that it avails an improved customer experience for your clients. And 81% of you got this correctly, so that was great. Then going to the next question, it was, what is the name of the chatbot used by Stanbic Bank Uganda to provide customer support? 90% of you correctly identified the Stanbic Bank chatbot as Stanbic Chat. And this was a very, very good performance from everybody. Number 3 was which chatbot's feature is particularly useful for African businesses with limited internet connectivity. And most of you got the answer right, which is 80%. You say that the office offline support is the one that has the highest potential, especially for in our African context, where sometimes your clients or even yourself do not have internet connectivity, or the internet connectivity is very expensive. So that was great. You guys got that answer right. Question number 4 was, what is the term for processing? So what is the term for the process of using customer data to personalize chatbot responses? This one had a lower mark compared to the 90s we've been talking about before, which you guys, 72% of you got the correct answer, which was it helps you to personalize. You're able to very personalized data, and that was the correct answer. On question 5, it asks that which of the following is the benefit of using chatbots for customer engagement, especially in social media? And I'm happy to note that 97, I think this is the highest rate we've got so far. 97% of you selected the correct option, which that it helps you to improve customer response times. Because it's on social media, you can respond anytime, you can respond in real time, you can respond at midnight as you're sleeping, you can respond on a Sunday. So that was 97% of you got it right. Then the other question 6 was, which of the following is a key consideration when designing a chatbot conversation flow? And 97% of you got this question correctly. You say that keeping conversations simple and concise is one of the critical things that you must do when you're designing the conversation flow of your chatbot, because you want people to feel like they're talking to other people. You want the chatbot to respond to the question asked directly. Question number 7 was, which of the following is a benefit of using chatbots for customer engagement? And 99, okay, we should find that one person who didn't allow us to get the 100%. But 99% of you correctly identified the correct answer, which was it avails you 24/7 support, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week support. That's the greatest benefit of using chatbots. And then number 8 was, what is the primary goal of conversational design in chatbot development? And this one, 76% of you got the correct answer, and that the correct answer was all of the above. So there were several options. The first option was, to keep conversations simple and concise, which is correct. Second one is to use natural language, which is correct. A third one is to provide clear instruction, which is correct. So they were all correct. So the most accurate answer was all the above, and 76% of you got the correct answer. Question 9, which was our last question, is which of the following is best practice for handling customer inquiries and support requests using chatbots? And 93% of you got this correctly. And what was the right answer? And it was, yes, the most correct answer was that it provides clear and concise responses. So that was the right answer. 93% of you got it correctly. As you can see from these percentages that I'm giving you, you scored really highly on this module. I don't know if it was because you were interested in customer engagement and you scored poorly on the data one, the one that was talking about data analysis, because you have no interest in data analysis, but you should have interest in data analysis because your decisions will be driven by data. So I want to give you a lot of credit that you did so well on this module. And I hope one of you has calculated your average. I think your average will be around 80, 85%, but it would be nice if someone calculated it to give it. But congratulations to you all. You did so well in this module. And I would like to think that it's because you read a lot and not because you don't like the module before, which was data analysis. Over to you, Sandra.
Thank you, Damali. And thank you all. I think actually last week's session was the most interactive and most exciting. So many of you were very, very engaging during the discussions, and even just with the findings that Damali has presented, it really shows that you had a very good understanding, and some of you had already had an experience engaging with chatbots, which was very, very good. So if there are no questions, I don't see any questions, just more of appreciation. Fancy Sheila, can't believe we're in week 6, and she says we are truly winners. Yes, we are, Sheila. And Agnes says she's excited to be here once again. Okay, so I don't think we have any particular questions on the findings. So I think let's delve into the training. But ladies, if there's anything you think of as we, talk, please put it in the chat. We will respond. So over to you, Damari.
Okay. Thank you. Then since we're going now to the main module, to the active class module, I would like to, oh, someone is saying something has come to mind. Agnes Muviru, please say whatever is on your mind. So yes, I was saying that as I go through the class module, I would like to, if you have any comments or clarifications you had, especially for those of you who watched the training videos, I tried to give you less training videos this time because I was hoping that if I give you less training videos, you'll go through them. I also gave less reading material because I was like, let me give one reading material so at least they read through that. So if you have any comments, and these could be just comments, it could be just your thoughts that you can put in the chat and share with us what you thought about the videos and also the reading material. But for now, let me go into the main class session. Sandra, are you able to see this?
Yes, I can.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay. Let me go through this. So this week, our second last module, ladies and, as you say, ladies and gentlemen, but just ladies, our second last module is marketing and sales using AI in an African context. So we are going to learn about how we can use AI for marketing and sales. Of course, we are starting off almost every session discussing or identifying what is artificial intelligence anyway. By now, you guys should know what artificial intelligence is because we've been talking about it for, 6 weeks now. But regardless, every time I do a module, I would like to still, yes, on paper, have it there to know that we recapped on what we are. And so artificial intelligence, we say this machine learning using natural language. So these are machines that use our natural kind of speaking language, human language, but using computers. And we use AI in everyday things like virtual assistant. I don't know if you guys have used the Google virtual assistant or Siri. Siri is also an assistant. If you have this Google search where you just speak into your phone and then it searches what you ask for, that's also an AI virtual assistant. So that's artificial intelligence. And since we're now 6 weeks, we should know a lot more about artificial intelligence and the definition. Now, the key importance of using AI in marketing and sales is that it has incredible benefits. For example, it increases your efficiency because you're able to automate the repetitive tasks like sending emails or responding to frequently asked questions. So can you imagine you can use AI to have your frequently asked questions. So you incorporate the answers to the frequently asked questions so that you use AI to respond to certain emails, especially the ones that are asking you usual questions that they always ask you. So you can use that and it does increase your efficiency. Then also it helps you to personalize customer experiences. So you can send 100 emails. You can send one email, but to 100 people, and those 100 people, each one, it comes up and says, Dear Jamali, dear Sandra, dear Fancy, dear, Angela. And all those individual people will actually think that this is an individual email to them. And yet it isn't. It's a mass email, but you use AI to be able to personalize it. Then also it enables you to do predictive analysis. So you can, after your AI tool has been communicating with Damali after a while, it starts to understand the user questions that Damali asks. It could be that the first question Damali asks is, when can you deliver, or can you deliver on the weekend? It could be that the user question Damali asks is, do you have this in brown? If the brown is her favorite color. So you're able to do predictive analytics on your customer needs, on what they want. And this is particularly important because here, in at least strangely enough, on the African continent, we have a lot of adaptive. We tend to adapt much more faster. Like we're able to adapt to mobile money much more faster because innovative ideas are easily adapted by us. So it's important here that we are able to use it, or you're able to use artificial intelligence to do your marketing and sales so that you have a competitive advantage. Then I try to put in here at least a global landscape for you so that we can understand what is the, say, for example, the African market landscape. So on the African market landscape, we have different types of economies, and the main ones are picked out in Nigeria, West Africa, that's Nigeria. It's one of the largest economies, but it also has a very high mobile adoption, very high rate of mobile adoption. So there are more people with mobile phones than the population actually. So whatever you're going to do on your sales and marketing, whatever tool you're going to use in Nigeria, it has to be mobile phone friendly. So South Africa, for example, is very advanced, has high internet penetration and a significant e-commerce market. So this one, you're going to use a lot of advanced AI tools because they have a high infrastructure network. We were talking about companies using offline AI, but now if you're in South Africa, you don't need to worry too much about that because they have very fast internet. Coming back here home to us, this Uganda and Kenya, we have fast-growing digital innovations such as M-Pesa, such as our mobile money, and therefore, if you're in these markets, you're not going to whatever you're going to innovate, whatever your AI tools are, they're going to have a mobile money component in them. So you have to understand which market you're in, and then be able to determine what to do with that. Then there are also cultural considerations that take place. So you have to understand a little bit, like if you're going to sell something, you're going to make use of the East African regional market, you're going to have to figure out, that there are some things that are, common. For example, it would be good if you're going to tackle the East African market, that you understand a little Swahili, that your chatbot understands a few Swahili words like, jambo, like, the numbers, umoja, those kind of things. So you need to put into cultural considerations. Also, you need to put into consideration local customs and norms and socioeconomic factors as you're thinking about your chatbot and how you're going to design your marketing your marketing strategy, depending on where you are. So if you're purely in Uganda, again, you're going to have to think through, okay, so what is the most common language? Maybe I do Luganda, I do Nakitara, then I do Iteso, So you find a regional balance that at least someone should be able to say hi on my chatbot, or if they're asking for a message. So you can design your marketing strategy using AI with also taking into consideration those small contexts on which culture you're going to be engaging in. Then on the digital penetration of mobile usage, we found that there are over 450 million internet users. There were over 450 million internet users as of last year. And the number of projected mobile internet users is going to be higher. So whatever you're going to design to do with your marketing and sales, you have to design it in a way that it has to get to that mobile phone. So because that's where the trends are. The trends are mobile internet. Most people are consuming, buying stuff on using their phone because they're accessing the internet using their phone. So there are less people accessing the internet using their laptops, say in Uganda or on the African continent, than there are people using the internet using on their laptops. So you're going to have to think about mobile commerce, that's what they're calling it, mobile commerce. What we're calling e-commerce now is mobile commerce. You have to have these mobile wallets and digital payment systems, and ensure that also you have these social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, and that's where most sales are being driven. If you remember the reading material that I shared last week, which took a lot of our time, which was the visualization of data, you saw that it was also saying the same things, that more and more people, and this one was focusing on the US, but you can apply it to the general world, that more and more people prefer to use their mobile phone to buy things and to consume content than them using their laptops or even tablets. So whatever you're going to do has to be mobile phone friendly. So there are several AI tools and technologies that are being used for marketing. So for example, there is a customer relationship management system. And this information I'm giving you is usually for larger companies, but because for most of us who are, was based on the survey we did at the beginning, most of us are SMEs. So this I'm giving to you for information purposes. So these are customer relationship management systems, and these are usually used by large companies, and they usually are used to track how many people, say for example, have gone on your social media, how many people have responded, how many people responded to your promotional tools. So there are several large customer relationship management systems that usually large companies. Now, a large company like MTN would have this. A large company like Stanbic would have this. But for you, this is for information purposes. Uh, then also there are chatbots and virtual assistants. I've told you about this. The beauty about chatbots and virtual assistants is that they are available 24/7. And if you're an SME, you're a woman entrepreneur, trust me, you don't have time 24/7 to be responding to customer queries. But your chatbot has the time because that's all it does, to be able to respond to customer queries and even book appointments, even book phone calls, that kind of stuff. So you should definitely utilize those. And I don't know how many of you have used Flutterwave. Flutterwave is one of those digital payment systems that are in Uganda that we use, but they use a chatbot for their customer inquiries. So if any of you has interacted with Flutterwave, by the way, can you put that in the chat? That would be interesting to hear about. Then the social media analytics and targeting. So there are some tools such as Hotsuite and Sprout Social, which is used for monitoring sentiment and engagement. So you see how you can post, say you have a promotional, you may have a promotion on your handle, say on Instagram or on Twitter or on Facebook. This tool, Hotsuite or Sprout, is able to tell you what the people, their comments, the sentiment of the comments. You may find that most of the comments are excited about the promotion. So this tool will read through everyone who's commented and tell you the general sentiment. It will be able to tell you that actually 80% of your potential customers, the posts they've put here, 80% of them are excited. 20% of them have said they actually don't care. 10% of them think the price is very high. Now, as a human being, it would have been so hard for you to figure out these numbers, that 80% of the people are happy, 20% don't care. But a tool like this would tell you immediate information about your promotional material, that you have this cup you're promoting at half price, but 20% of them have already told you that their price is too high, even if it's half price. So that's where the value of using such tools that are able to give you sentiment, and that is sentiment analytics. And after you hear the sentiment, you may revise your promotion to make sure you address those nuances. So companies like, say, Jumia, I'm sure many of you have interacted with Jumia. They're using targeted ads based on user data, so that they're able to reach you. But also the ads that they send to you will be targeted to you. So there was one time I tried to order something through Jumia, and after that, the order, I ended up not ordering at all. But all of a sudden, I just had ads from Jumia around products that complement that particular product that I was trying to buy. So certain companies are utilizing these tools to be able to target the potential customer with adverts that are relevant to that particular customer. Of course, as a human being, it would have been harder for you to know that. They may try to make an order maybe for a watch. She didn't follow through with the order, but you know what? She seems to be interested in watches. And maybe if she's interested in watches, maybe she'll be interested in a smartwatch. If she's interested in a smartwatch, maybe she will be interested in a Fitbit. So those are the adverts now they started throwing at me on products that are near the smartwatch that I was trying to order, even though I didn't eventually go through with the order. So going through, there are several strategies to use AI for effective marketing. First of them is that you have to personalize whatever you're using for your marketing in AI. You have to make sure that it is personalized. And you can use machine learning to personalize things. So there are some companies, I don't know if you know this company, it's called Take a Lot. that use customer experience through tailored recommendations. So this is not a, it's not a local company, but anyway, it's a global company. But it uses, it tailor makes your adverts because it personalizes them to you. Then also you can use predictive analytics and customer insights. So for example, it can look at for how long has this person been our customer? How much have they bought from us? And based on how much they bought from us, you can tell that actually every 3 months, Damali makes an order on our platform. And since every 3 months Damali makes an order on our platform, I can actually start predicting that Damali will make an order in the next 3 months because she made her last order in September. So with that prediction, I can even start now sending out Damali a reminder to say, oh, we have this in store. Of course, I know that's a cycle. So that's where you do the predictive analytics. But also from a global scale, I know this, I've put it on individual. If you're, say, a national company and you're using AI, you can tell that Kampala, people in Kampala, or I get my most orders in Kampala in the 3rd week of the month. And therefore, because I get most of my orders in Kampala on the 3rd week of the month, I'm going to make sure I have a lot of stock near Kampala in the 3rd week of the month. Then you may, based on that data, know that actually most people in West Nile order my things in the 1st week of the month. So I'm going to make sure I get my stock there before the 1st week of the month to make sure I can meet those orders. So that's what they call predictive analytics and customer insight. And that's what you can use AI for. Then also using AI for content creation for your marketing strategy. So AI can generate your marketing content. I think there was a video I shared with you guys which literally walks you step by step on how to create your what was it? It was teaching you how to create, I think, 8 or 10 blogs. No, they weren't blogs. 10 posts just using AI. You just give it an instruction and then it helps you to do it. So content creation is very useful because sometimes it's hard for you to think through what you want to say, and yet you may find that people prefer to be prompted. So using AI for content creation for your marketing strategy, that makes it easier. Then also localization. So you can use AI to actually post in local languages. It can do translation for you. So I did try this where I wrote the thing in English and I told it to translate in Luganda. It wasn't the best Luganda there ever, but it was helpful because at least I had a first draft. So I just went and corrected a few bits and nuances. But had I had to think through the entire Luganda translation immediately, it would have taken me longer. I would have done it, but it would have taken me longer. So you can use AI for also those kind of things where you can translate your marketing advert into Luganda, whatever language you can try, but make sure this is critical. If you ask AI to translate for you in your local language, make sure you read it, or in any other local language. Because now, if say, for example, I asked you to translate for me into Kinyarwanda, I'll ask Sandra to help me read through to make sure it makes sense. Because I'm not. If you translate it for Sandra in Luganda, she should ask me to read it. So to make sure that it makes sense, because it may think it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. So you need you need a human eye still to look at it. That's important. So don't just post it just after translating it. Make sure there is a human eye that double checks it. So AI can be used in sales processes, for example, sales focusing. I think I was explaining this to you where I was saying that if you realize that most of your sales in Kampala take place in the 3rd week of the month, maybe because that's when people have gotten paid, then you can start making your decisions that in 2nd week, I'm going to start promoting this stuff in Kampala because they normally buy in the 3rd week. So you use that to focus. Also, you can tell that every February, my sales go up, say in Northern Uganda, or they go up generally for this particular product. Now that's when you start planning for it. Now that's sales focusing, and then you can tell that, okay, next year in February, I'll be making this amount of money as well. So there are tools there to use like Microsoft Power BI. And if you have Microsoft Office, you have also Microsoft Power BI, and that helps you with the data visualization and reporting. Remember that topic I spent a lot of time on data visualization. So there are tools to help you do that. Then also AI can be used for lead generation and qualification. So lead generation means that it goes and helps you identify potential customers who may not have engaged with you, but because it's it's AI, it can look at Jamali's history and start recommending potential customers who may consume that. However, there are ethical considerations and some challenges. So as you do use AI, you must always be careful to know that people's data is private data. So if people provide you with their names and phone numbers, you don't wake up and publicize them just because you have that information, because it will otherwise kill your customer loyalty and your customer base. So if I normally buy stuff from you and then I find out tomorrow you printed a list of your customers buying your product and I didn't ask you to add my name or you didn't even ask my permission to publish my name, then you would have been, I could sue you actually because you've breached our confidentiality, our kind of buyer seller confidentiality because you didn't ask me if you should publish my info. So there are ethical considerations that you must take into consideration when you're using artificial intelligence because it collects a lot of data on people. Then there also, I did talk about one of the other modules, I talked about the biases in artificial intelligence. And the biases are simple, that it's human beings that build these programs that then become artificially intelligent. And these human beings come from different, their own perspective. They are found in certain places. Most of these AI tools are from the Western world. So if you're trying to brainstorm or trying to come up with a marketing strategy, specifically for Uganda, say for these people in this location, and you want it to be culturally friendly, AI may be unable to give you that because no one has ever built it and told it that the people in Kalangala, these are their social norms. So if you're asking it to develop for you a marketing strategy with content for people in Kalangala, using a socio-economic context and cultural context, it will actually be blank. It will give you generalized things because it just doesn't have that info. So those are sometimes the biases in AI. It can't know everything, especially when the people who built it are not here or are not in our context, are not from our perspective. Then there is also digital literacy, of course. Digital literacy means that you get this kind of training. You know how to use, the internet. You have the skills, which, thankfully for you, you're getting the skills. But it expects you to also be able to have digital literacy. So I do have some food for thought here for you. I wanted you to, if any of you can tell me of a successful AI-driven marketing campaign from a local brand that you've seen, given now what you know about AI. Does any of you, or can you guys share with us any successful AI-driven marketing campaign from a local brand that you've seen? And then, and what do you think worked? What was good? How was it done? And how good was it from a local brand? So please do share with us if you have that, if you know, or if any of you have seen that. And I'm sure most of you have seen it. Now that you know what you know about AI, you must know there are some local brands here currently in Uganda that are using AI for their marketing campaigns. So please tell us the ones you feel like have done that. So in conclusion, some of the future trends of artificial intelligence in African marketing and sales is that generally our sales and marketing is going to be mostly driven by personalization using artificial intelligence, but personalized artificial intelligence. You're going to make sure that, or what is going to drive it more is if there is localization, where you can use like the local words or the local things in your marketing tools. That's where the future is going. Then you're going to have to use a lot of predictive analytics to be able to drive your customer behavior and then improve your business model. So you're going to start using more data. You know that module around data that we didn't perform very well on. You're going to have to use a lot more data to make decisions so that you can predict the future. And those of you who are going to be able to, are the ones who are going to be leading. Then there's going to be a need for you to continuously learn. As you've seen, every day we teach you something new, and there's so much more. What we're teaching you is just a tip of the iceberg. So you're going to have to keep yourself, up to date. And even if you consume, and now that you know enough of, about AI, you're actually going to see it a lot more. So you can use several tools like Coursera is a free learning online tool that avails you a lot of content on so many different topics. So that's free. So you can use that resource as a continuous learning tool. You can also use LinkedIn Learning. I don't know how many of you are on LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn, tell us. Actually, if you're on LinkedIn and you use LinkedIn Learning, please share with us what you think about it. But a lot of learning is now happening on LinkedIn. So if you're interested in continuously updating yourself on these trends about artificial intelligence, because that's where the world is going, you can use LinkedIn. Then you can also use, webinars and seminars if you find them. And there's several other reading materials on the market for artificial intelligence. Uh, I have some additional resources here, but I won't bother you with them. They're not much. But yeah, that's the end of our lecture today. Over to you, Sandra.
Thank you very much, Damali. Very interesting how, you can even use AI to like predict your customer behaviors as you highlighted. I think that's just amazing, because imagine the effort and the costs as businesswomen you'd have to do to go out there, get a consultant who'll go and contact your, clients, find out if they would still be interested in your products in the future, find out what their patterns are in terms of spending and all that. I mean, it would be very expensive, very timely, very costly. But now with AI, everything is at your fingertips. So yeah, that's very, very amazing. So I'm seeing there are quite a number of questions. So I'm going to first go with the first three, allow Damali to respond, and then we will proceed with the others. So the first is a general one. I think it was Agnes who finally thought about her question. So she asked, how long are the links supposed to be available? The last two videos for week 5 were not available by Saturday. Yes, so now the next question is, will all the network, oh, okay, so that was just Hona saying that she's finally on board. Someone gave an example of Glovo Uganda, those guys delivering food. I think when you asked for examples. Para Safe Border, so a number of examples. Data module. So Innovation Village, this is Fancy who says, they keep sending me information and reaching out, quite organized. Then Honor, I've not been able to give much attention to the local brands on the international level. But on the international level, I have seen Elon Musk use it in developing marketing campaigns for for Donald Trump for the presidential campaigns. Yes, that's something I've also noticed on Twitter. Thank you, Damali. That is from Natukunda. Thank you, Damali. Okay, so most of them are just appreciating, so they are not really questions. Thank you so much, ladies. So maybe just that question from, I think it was the question on the links.
Yeah.
Yes, how are they available?
Okay. Of course, this is content. It's curated content by third-party providers, and we don't have control over it. But I didn't realize that actually the links that were shared had gone off. Of course, we expect you to be watching them within the last, within the week that we give them, because we say we give the content on Saturday. Tuesday we are doing the class, right? So we hope that you've gone through the content Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you must have gone through that content, whoever is asking, much later than the actual live class, because you're the only one who seems to have had this problem. And that content was definitely available before the live class, because I tend to check on it. So if you went back to it much later, it could have gone away, because they sometimes avail it for a short period, because it's a lot of knowledge and information for free, and yet for them they had to invest money in it. So sometimes when they avail it is for a period of time. That's why usually when we offer you this knowledge, we hope that you take it on and then use it. For some people, they offer their knowledge for a period and then they take it away. But what I know for a fact is that at no point have we given you links which expired before the class. We would share them Saturday. By Tuesday, they're definitely all still there. So you must have gotten to it maybe way after the class. In which case, sorry about that. You can read the reading material But you can also, when you go on YouTube, you can, again, YouTube has its own AI. YouTube will suggest to you other videos to watch that are near what you were watching anyway. So those video links that I shared before, if you click on it and it's expired, then well, what is it called? YouTube would actually give you suggestions on your right normally. You can look on your right. They would have given you suggestions of other videos that are close to the content of what had been shared. So that's what I would suggest to you now for you to do. But also I would encourage you that when we share the content on Saturday, watch it Saturday, Sunday, Monday, so that by Tuesday when we do this class, it's there. And none of the times have we shared content had disappeared before the class. That hasn't been the case because we do tend to track it. So you must value the knowledge when those guys offer it, because they're offering it for free and there's a lot of research that goes back before you share the actual knowledge and content. For example, you can see here it was just 1 hour. Our class is just 1 hour, but it takes like 5 hours to prepare for, actually more than 5 hours to deliver the 1 hour class. So those links, when someone is giving you a 15-minute purely content video, they put a lot of time into it. So sometimes they withdraw it. So just make sure you make use of it in time. I was happy to note, Sandra, that we got local examples of people, of companies that people knew at least were using AI to drive their marketing strategies. I was really happy about the examples that were given. Global Uganda, yeah, Global is everywhere actually. It's in my Gmail. It comes up on as what do they call them? Those video alerts. So I've seen that, and they're definitely using AI, and they're trying to sell to me things that they think I like, and they're close to what I like. So they're definitely using AI. For us, interestingly, I haven't interacted with For Us at all. I've seen them with their physical selves when they have desks in a mall, but I haven't interacted with them, online. Then Safe Border, yes, that one I've seen. Safe Border, I've seen them using AI for marketing and sales, especially when they have their promotional rides, where sometimes they have these codes that you can use for free rides every now and again. Then Innovation Village, I didn't know the Innovation Village also does that. It's interesting, fancy that you mentioned that. It would be good to look out. But then on the international stage, of course, there are very many. And that example of Elon Musk, yeah, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, they've definitely done that. And I also realized in hindsight, I didn't know at the time that actually Obama used a lot of AI marketing themselves when he was doing his campaigns. And I think he was among the first presidents who did that extensively. So those are extra examples I have. Back to you, Sandra.
Thank you, Damali. So going back to the chat, we've got some people don't have their names there because their phones were stolen. That was Nadia who had asked that question. So here I have someone who is Galaxy A03 Core, who's been answering last week's quiz was great. Your heart skips as you finalize, which you started that right from the start. So most of them are really appreciating the sessions. They're finding them very useful. I think that's it. I hope there is no question that I have missed. Safe Border localizes a lot. That's from Agnes. It will use your mother tongue when communicating to you. Fantastic. Yeah, that's the localization that Damali was talking about. Yeah, so ladies, do share any other experiences you've had or any questions that you have had. But I think you can see how important, AI is when it comes to marketing. And I think the main two things I've picked from here is, that whole personalization, localize, how it can help predict customer brands. What you talked about, even gaining the trust of your customers, I think that was very important. So just making sure as much as you get this data, you're not sharing it out there without, seeking permission. And then the other one was just the continuous learning, because every day there are new things. So as much as you have all this training, is introductory sessions on how you can use AI for, chatbots, for data, for marketing, just with your businesses, just keep looking out there and learning more, because, every day there are so many opportunities for learning. So yeah, I think that's it. I don't see any other questions. Yes. So ladies, I think today's session has been very clear. Usually when there are no questions, it means that everyone has understood.
They've either
That's how
understood everything or not understood
yes,
anything.
or not understood at all. Exactly. So I'm hoping it's the former that you've understood everything. It will be very disappointing if you've not understood at all. But I think the fact that they've shared the local examples, I think they've totally got this. So
Yes.
with that, I think we are going to conclude, as we come to the close of today's session on revolutionizing markets and sales with AI, we at Ideation Corner want to take the opportunity to reflect on what we've accomplished. We've explored how AI can empower you, women entrepreneurs, giving you tools to enhance your businesses, for you to make smarter decisions and drive innovation in ways that set you apart in the marketplace. We really hope that the insight and strategies that you've gained are going to be very useful and that will lead to greater efficiency, greater customer connections, and just more competitive businesses. But that it will just move you from the level you're at right now to the next level. So we encourage you to continue applying the tools that you've learned, continue to explore. Don't be afraid to experiment, push your boundaries. And as you do, just remember that, your engagement and your commitment is what will take your business, to the next level. So we thank you very, very much. And we look forward to next week, which will be week 7.
Yes.
And yeah.
The last week. The last
The
week.
last
Next week
yes.
is the last week, guys.
The last week, yes. So thank you very
And
much.
wait, next week, just to prep you, to prime you, I should say, we are going to look at navigating ethical considerations and future trends of AI. That should be interesting. It's going to be, looking at ethics and, what are the future trends. Now we're going into real details about the future trends of AI. We hope to be able to get you a very, very interesting expert in AI, but we will not tell you yet. We hope to get them. We haven't yet concluded or committed, but we hope to get them. They are an expert in artificial intelligence, and we hope that they're going to be able to give us that particular session. But next week's session is should be very, very interesting for you.
Yeah, will definitely. All right. Thank you, Damali. Thank you, ladies. We'll wait for you guys to leave. We do see your messages, your appreciation messages. And thank you all for appreciating. Thank you for your kind words. And we look forward to next week, which is the finale.
Yeah. The very, very last one.
Yes. Okay, then. Bye, ladies.
Well, Sandra, you've gone.
Oh,
Oh,
I just removed the video, but I'm still here.
you feel like you're gone. You walked out the door, like bye-bye. In fact, you just
Yeah.
slammed the door. You
Yeah.
slammed the door and walked out.
I'm waiting for all our guests to go and then we'll leave.
Oh dear.
So you've seen I had sent you a message
Oh,
on
you
the
had?
program at 6:30 with our expert. We are not mentioning
Ah, oh yes, of course. Today, 6:30?
today
Yes,
6:30.
excellent. Yes, that's great.
We'll have a 3-way call.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
It's going to be Zoom?
It's fantastic session. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Who is that? Who said that? Oh, yes. I'm just seeing the messages now. Agnes
Yeah,
Mubiru.
that motivates us. Etuama amanyi.
Yes. Daniel Emily. Dear Amaliva, she called me Amali.
Amali. I think it was a
Yes.
typo.
Agnes Mubiru. Agnes Mubiru has been very busy. Thank you.
Yes.
So cool. There are people who love the session. Okay, that's do they ask no questions, but okay.
Yeah. Don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but we'll take it as a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
We'll take it as a good thing.
Sandra team, thank you. Amalie is a nice name.
Yes, actually it is. Amali, you know, you could you
Maybe,
could
maybe I was calling myself. My name is
Amali.
Amali
It
Sally.
has
Yes.
a nice like Amali. It's like a nice uh African. I put you somewhere like in, I don't know if I'm making this up.
Like
Uh,
Ethiopian.
yeah,
Maybe some
Ethiopia.
Ethiopian.
Yes, don't give it. Um,
Amali. That's a nice one, actually.
20 left. Okay, so we'll wait for you ladies to leave, but we are here. I'll just mute and